Hello YouTube, Ronin Kaze. I got that part figured out now. Well, YouTube, where we were yesterday. Oh, where are we today, first off? We're in the higher levels of SWTOR, and I'm playing a Sith character. And I'm a Sith Marauder, and then I've dual class to, like, I can cast lightning. And so, why are we doing Star Wars? Well, first, Star Wars is cool if you're a nerd. Even if you're not a nerd, it's cool. And one of the things about Star Wars, there's a lot of people that are interested in the Jedi and the Sith. It's a very basic, like we talked before, it's a very basic right and wrong, seemingly good and evil. And I told you kind of my path and all this. I always was, I guess, if you think about role-playing games, D&D type of games, I never really played those in the board sense, but I played them on computers. And there used to be like Neverwinter Night, I guess. That was the name of the game. That's when I first had a book, and then I could read what I was going to be. I was always chaotic neutral. That's always what I wanted to be. So I'm not really for one or the other sides. So when you start playing Star Wars, you can make choices where you're all light side or you're all dark side. And in this game, I think it's BioWare that does it. In this game, those choices add up, and you can change your character a little bit, and you get different choices based on all that. And so in real life, I guess I'm chaotic neutral. Also, I've like we all have done, there is a wide or a large tapestry that we've painted our lives where we make good choices, bad choices, and those kind of things. And it is what it is. So it's pretty hard to be all one thing or all nothing. It's easy in your head to strive to be up or down. You know, again, we talk about this trumpet chart or this range of where you need to fit in. It's easy to be an extreme because it's all this way or all that way. But in reality, life's somewhere in the middle. So that's what's interesting about the Sith and Jedi. And I used to be for Jedi. And then when I played this SWTOR game, have played half the game is from the Imperial side. Really not an Imperial. Half the game's from the Imperial side. Let me correct this. The game's kind of split into quarters. Half's quarter Sith, quarter Jedi, quarter Republic, quarter Imperial. And they kind of intermingle sometimes. So today you're seeing just a straight Sith character. And I told you I have a penchant. I really don't like lightsabers. I like to have like the vibro-swords. So I have a dual-wielding kind of katana-ish kind of sword. But why are we doing Star Wars today? Yesterday, in the previous video, I had to do an emergency video with Guild Wars 2, the expansion, give you some new content, because I had spent all day working on my Linux. And I wasn't going to be able to finish the Linux. I had ran into a point where I think I messed up the master boot record. And so I paused that, put out a video, made sure that was okay. Hopefully you liked it. Thank you for watching it if you did. And I went back to Linux almost immediately, right? I knew it was a master boot record, so I searched for how to repair a master boot record. I went in there, started looking at that kind of stuff. It said, load a live version of the Linux, in which I told you that's kind of an easy thing to do. That's one of the benefits of Linux. You can load a live version of it. What does live version mean? It loads off the USB, doesn't touch the hard drive, and it exists. Then you'd load in different software and fix the bootloader section. Well, I started going into the BIOS and Dell had some tools in there that kind of I kerjunkered, and this is what's horrible about me, YouTube, is I just kept messing till it worked. I had a general idea. Where did I get my computer knowledge? Back in 1983, I went to college. First day of college, my father passed away. I finished out the semester. So that next semester, so January 1984, I'm like, what am I going to do? So I sign up for a thing to be a computer tech at a place called Controlled Data in Southfield, Michigan. And they had a system called the Plato system, and I learned electronics and computer stuff through there. So to give you an idea, I had to do punch cards as part of my class. That was old even then, but I had to do punch cards, had to do stuff on tape. This is when tape drives are still, you might have a little computer, you might have a tape drive to load a program. My first computer was like a TRS 8100 knockoff from NEC. I had a Texas Instrument 994A, but I really didn't do anything except play games on it. But all that being said, I went to that school, learned about hard drives. The hard drives were 5 megabyte platters. There's like 4 platters, the size of LP records, or, you know, a foot around. It was just crazy old technology. But you learn about, like, there's a master boot record, and you learn about, the computers haven't changed that much in the highest technical sense when you're doing an overview. So I had some idea. This is what the problem was. I fiddled around in the BIOS, couldn't really record it. I'm not a slave to recording it, and recording it on my phone, I have to do a lot of transposition with the film because it's at an angle, so then I got to make the thing flat and all that kind of stuff. Long story short, I just got it working. Found both discs, right? The second disc knew it was a data disc. The first disc, I think I had to turn off. I had turned off the EFI mandatory and made it, you know, disabled that. But it seemed like I had to do one more of those kind of things. So eventually I got it working. I installed Catchy, and I got a bunch of videos now I've been making of Catchy that I've been doing. And so I want to do a little bit more because, again, I don't want to just do a video on the Linux of, you know, this versus that. Look, it's doing the same thing you can see in 100 different videos. All right, so there's number one. So here I am back on the video. You can see, even though I'm not using a lightsaber, some of the graphics are just going to be lightsaber graphics, which is okay. So you kind of get that. I'm burning YouTube. And we're on a planet. At this point, the Empire isn't doing so well. So we're on a gravity hook. Go look up what that is. It's pretty neat. And we're trying to just steal isotope 5, which is, spoiler alert, it's what we need to maybe take over the Republic. We're not faring so well, the Empire is. I think at this point, the Emperor has gone, and that's more stuff. So even though we talked about this not being canon, it's really great. So one of the things about this character is their red skin. They're really original Sith person from Korriban, and so that's kind of in that old type of legacy, they call it, Star Wars legacy stuff. So we're getting scientists or something, we're doing something, and we're going to break in this stuff. In my normal character, I can't stealth, but in this, the dual-wielding guys can all stealth. So this is like a dual-wielding tank that can stealth. So it's like crazy overpowered. So my Linux thing is on track. I have that done, which I'll do a pretty good video on that. I'm going to do some emulation. And so what I was thinking about, so the computer I've identified is less than $300, and it's one of those mini PCs. And the idea is this, and I'm going to give you an idea of what I'm playing with as far as I don't care, again, which benchmark you use, but I'm going to benchmark all my systems with the same kind of benchmark, pass mark, I think, and give you an idea what the single core task and the multi-core task is. And I have a feeling that $300 computer is going to be better than all these laptops I got. I think everything except the Mac Mini is just going to probably dominate everything. But the Mac Mini has the hardest way to emulate because it's not Intel, it's Snapdragon silicon. And so it's got to translate from Mac to Intel to Snapdragon, not 86 code set. So it's a little bit something for the Mac, but the Mac fan never comes on. My old faithful G14 Zephyrus, like it just powers through everything. It's shitty little, excuse me, not a great graphic card. And, but it just can run everything. The fan turns on, and I guess I stick my nose up at that. So the choices I'm making for this character, I'm a Sith, so a lot of the choices are dark side choices, but I'm not taking those. I switch to whatever's convenient for me. So at this point, I'm saying, have an uprising and I'll back you. And have a chance to flirt with this guy. And so when I flirt with him, he goes, oh, well, I guess I could do something with you then. And that's how my character looks. She has all those piercings. So Linux is back on. So my next thought is, right, try not to be too far ahead, but I'm thinking about the computer that I'd like to raffle off and get a dollar amount so you guys can kind of have something. You don't have to contribute to win the computer, but that's how I'm going to fund it, is through the Buy Me a Coffee. And I probably didn't say buy me a coffee when that popped up because I'm going to do that right now, and I'll move back here. So if you could buy me a coffee, you don't have to, but if you can scan that QR code, which isn't on my screen right now, let me look what minute we're on. We're on a minute 11:42 or something like that. If you could like, subscribe, share, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for buying me a cup of coffee. I appreciate it. That's going to I'm looking at a B-Link with an AMD Ryzen 5 5500U is the processor. But I want to get the pass mark scores and see where that's comparing on all these different PCs I'm using. So I can tell you on Linux, with this many stuff going, this is what it should be like. This is what we're shooting for. And then when I get it, I'm going to use it for a month. I'm going to put OBS on it, put Linux on it. I'll keep Windows on it for you. And then I'm going to run all these games. I'll load all these games on there. And then I'll run it. And then we'll see how it performs as your PC. The other thing that I'd like to do, and that's what I'm doing now, is I put DOSBox X on there, and I'm trying to get another emulator on there. When I got a Steam box, whatever those things are called, it was the little handheld Steam PC. I bought an emulator SDHC for like, I don't know, 20 bucks. It had like 8 million games on it and all the emulators and all that stuff. So running emulation is something also you should be able to do with this as well. So that's what I'm going to try to shoot for. Let me make sure the video is about to end here. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for buying me a cup of coffee. I appreciate it. Thank you for going on this journey with me. And I had to hurry today because my granddaughter's coming over. We'll talk about her more later. Thanks, YouTube. Bye.